Nearly 2 months since the Guantanamo Bay hunger strike began, there's still no sign of the crisis being resolved, and some protesters are reportedly close to death. Cindy Panuka is a lawyer for one of the prisoners and is near Camp Delta. She says camp officials are resorting to harsh tactics to force inmates to end their campaign.
The first day that I saw him, he was very weak. He had not been able to sleep because he said that the camp authorities had lowered the temperature in much of the camp to very, very freezing temperatures. It appears that the guards here at the base are trying to end the hunger strike by making conditions more difficult for the prisoners here, including making the camp very cold. And he had lost 40 pounds when I saw him. He used to weigh 167, and he's now 125 pounds. And when the prisoners began to strike, it seemed that camp authorities began to treat them more harshly to try to end the strike. And so many more men joined the strike to protest the searching of the Quran and the worsening conditions and the more harsh treatment here. There are many men who are cleared for release, at least 86 of them, and now they're also being treated as prisoners. The reputation of the United States in the world is at stake here. If the U.S. does not come to the table, the government authorities here do not come to the table and discuss with the detainees the improvement of the conditions here, there are men who are going to begin to die for no reason at all, when a simple solution would be to stop the searches of the Quran, or if not, to allow the men to turn over their Quran so that they are not searched. And it's as simple as that. It would get the men to be eating tomorrow and to be back on track to be healthy. Right now they're very, very sick, very weak, and it's very sad.
The U.S. government has been facing uncomfortable questions over the hunger strike at Guantanamo Bay, but has failed to assure anyone that it's going to take any action. Our Washington correspondent Guyana Chichikan explains why her attempts to get an official response are getting nowhere.
Not a word from Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel on the situation in Guantanamo. I was at a news conference with the Defense Secretary this Thursday at the Pentagon. He never took my question. I frankly don't know why. I was right there in front of him, raising my hand as everyone else. As you know, half of the men in Guantanamo have been cleared for release, many of them years ago. Yet they're still there, locked up, stuck in this limbo, desperate. And I was going to ask when they will let these men go and whether it would make any difference if somebody died in this ongoing hunger strike. Again, I never got the chance to ask that question. The Pentagon has just requested almost $200 million to renovate the Guantanamo prison. That kind of investment may suggest that they're not planning to shut it down anytime soon. At the beginning of the year, the State Department closed the office that was in charge of closing the prison. I went to a State Department briefing earlier this week. Again, never got a chance to ask a question. It's either they watch RT or the media person there just didn't take questions from anyone who's not attending the briefings on a daily basis, which I don't. One way or another, our questions remained unanswered there. The only person who's been responding to our inquiries about the situation with the detainees was Robert Duran, the spokesman for Guantanamo. But the only comments he can offer are about the health of the detainees, which is apparently deteriorating, and also the latest numbers as far as how many detainees are on strike at the moment. The latest we have from him is 31 persons, but that's it. There's complete silence on the most important questions about the future of the prison. What's going to happen to these people? President Obama's spokesperson said the president's team is closely monitoring the hunger strikers at Guantanamo Bay, and I can tell you that the administration remains committed to closing the detention facility at Guantanamo Bay, but at the same time offering no specifics as to when and how are they going to do that if the Pentagon is requesting millions of dollars to renovate it.